Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Magical Maiden, and today we are going to do a jewelry show and tell tutorial. As you can see, I have a different background. I'm in my bedroom so that my cats won't bother me. This one's going to be a show and tell video tutorial, and I'm not going to actually create it in front of you, but I'm going to show you a jewelry show and tell tutorial and featuring this necklace. So let's get started. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you a corded choker type necklace. Now, this is it right here, and I'm wearing it for now, and then I will take it off so you can see it better. And all I did was I bought this, and I'm going to stick some pictures in how it looked before I used it. Quite a bit in this roll. I'm gonna tell you that I was originally trying to make a linen necklace. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen a linen necklace or a linen choker, but they're usually the waxed linen, which is what I was looking for. And when I looked online, it said that it had it at Hobby Lobby. And I wanted to do this craft. I picked up the next best thing, which was this. And this is called craft cord, and I'm going to put a picture up right now of what it looked like when I bought it. So I have used quite a bit and still more to go, and I've made this. And I didn't make these earrings. I made these earrings a couple of, I made these earrings last month. These are tassel earrings, boho tassel earrings. So I wanted to make a linen necklace. Now I got the inspiration for that. I was watching a TV show. This woman had this beautiful necklace, and I couldn't tell whether it was a bunch of thin seed beads all cropped together or whatever, or cord. But I then went to Pinterest, and I just typed in cord and chokers and necklaces, and up came all this stuff with linen or waxed linen. So I saw some gorgeous ones, and I said, you know what, I want to make something. So this was too thick. The cording on this, I don't know if you can see it. Forgive me if I'm looking down at my computer and not at you in the camera. It's because I have my big ring light, and it's like right in my eyeballs when I look up. So here's the width of it. You see, it's pretty thick, okay? And it comes twisted, not braided. It looks like a braid, okay? And then when you see the ends, that's what the ends are gonna look like, okay? So I went ahead and I said, well, I can't put beads through this. Maybe I have a big enough bead with big holes in it, but I didn't. So I tried, and then when I put it in, it kind of frayed, and so I couldn't use any beads. So then other option was you can use like belt buckles or just round rings, and you can attach them. So now what I did with this is the same idea that with the linen, waxed linen chokers or waxed linen necklaces, or even cord. So what I did was I got a bunch of this, and I figured putting it over here didn't look good as like a regular choker, and a regular choker is like between 16 and 18 inches. So I decided that I was going to let it hang a little, because you've got to leave a little room to make the end piece. And I'll get into how you make the end piece. I'm going to show you a few ideas. One is like you have a bunch of your strings at the end, and then you take your cord and then you wrap, and you can get your glue gun, keep it handy. You can use fabric glue also if you don't like using a glue gun. And you see how you got this? Now picture this neater. And then you go to the end and then you glue that down nice and tight though. And then you can leave a loop at the end where you can hook either a button on the other end and the button goes in and that's how you can clasp it, or you can just, if it's just little wispy pieces, then you can hook a jump ring and a clasp and then a jump ring on the other side. The other option to end it is to use end caps, and I have a few pictures of what that looks like. Okay, so anyway, you're going to take it and you're going to measure it. Now what I did to be on the safe side, because I didn't know how thick I was going to make it and I didn't know how long at this point, because I was going to hold it up to my neck and see how I wanted it to fit. So what I did was I took about 40 inches, okay, and then I cut a few pieces. Now I don't have a lot, but I do have enough. So cut about 12 to 14 pieces. If you want it thicker, you certainly can cut more in a 40-inch, okay, 40 inches. And believe me, if you get the craft cord, and I got this at Hobby Lobby, you can get tons. If I can find the link online for this, I will put it. This is in the color turquoise. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did the end piece on this one. Now keep in mind, it's going to look like this, and I got a piece of my hair. And the end, when it's not on, it might flop a little and look a little messy, but when it's on, you sort it out and you fix it and you decide which way you want to put this. Now I didn't put this directly on the middle. I put it because you want it off to the side, whatever side you choose. Okay, and I just got a regular old belt buckle thing, and you can do that too, or you can buy a ring at the store. Okay, so what I did here, and you can look, it's kind of crude until I can get the end caps, and here's a picture of the end caps. Okay, so what you want to do is twist it and hold it and use some kind of clasp or clip. These are just bag chip clips, or if you have another person handy, they can hold the other end while you twist it. But you're going to tie a piece and then glue gun the end, and then you can clean it up. I'm obviously working. You can see all my pieces. And then you're going to twist it and hold it tight and wrap some wire. Now this isn't neat right now because I still have to straighten it and squeeze it down. What this does is kind of holds it. And then you can attach some kind of decoration like the buckle I put on there. And when you put it on, it'll be a little tighter because it stretches. But it's a lot of moving around and finagling with it. Now this, like I said, this is craft cord. It's not linen. You would typically work with waxed linen, which is a little bit thinner and easier to work with, but I couldn't find it at the craft store, so I purchased this. This is in the color turquoise, and you can see it's 4 millimeters and it's 50 yards, but it's good to practice. It was cheap. Let me see. Actually, the wax linen should be cheaper, but depends on how much you have to purchase. I believe this was around $5. Okay, but you get plenty of it. You can braid this. So here it is. I'm still in my workspace. You can see all my working supplies. And now you can either get a belt clip, an old belt clip, or you could buy rings. This happens to be an old hammered thing. It used to be like on a chain link on a belt on a skirt, but I don't wear the skirt anymore and I haven't worn it. But yes, you can decorate it any way. You can also, before you twist the cord, put some beads in there. Now I was going to do that, but I decided to make it simple. And you can make this either into a choker or a looser necklace. Now this is not 16 inches, but it's a little longer. And you want to cut them. Remember to cut, I cut about 40 inches of cord and I put it together. And they're about like 10 to 12 cords in here, 10 to 12 pieces of cord. So you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. Now it does tend to be a little bit of a hassle twisting it and holding the twist, but you can fix it once it's on you, because once you lift this it kind of unravels a little bit, but it's supposed to look like that. But this is what I did. And then after I did that, I wrapped some of the cording super tight. And in the beginning, when I did like 1 or 2 wraps and I pulled it really tight, I put a little of the glue gun facing in, and then you want to pick off the pieces, okay? Or you can use fabric glue. That dries clear. And then I continued doing it super tight, pulling it tight until I got to the end. And don't worry about trimming it till you're done. Then make sure that the cord ends there and put like glue, and then glue until you get to the end, and then glue, and then trim off the excess, and then just glue the little piece. And you'll want that to end in the inner part, okay? Just so it looks neater. Now what you're left is with pieces, so you can trim them. Now I can trim this more, and when I get a belt, when I get an end cap, I will trim it more and stick a little glue. Now for that, if you're going to get an end cap, don't use a glue gun, because if you're not quick enough and the glue dries inside the end cap, it's going to be really hard, if not impossible, to get that out, and then you can't use it. So what you should do is, if you're left with an end, trim as much as you can down, okay? And then when it's left with possibly hardly anything sticking out, but of course something has to be sticking out, put some fabric glue on there, and then on your end cap put some fabric glue, but don't overload it. You don't want it oozing out all over your fabric. And then put that on there and hold it. Now those end caps should have a little loop attached to it to hang either the chain and then the clasp on the other side, or it will have something like a toggle clasp. This is a toggle clasp. Now this is the other way you can do it. If you want it to look more like this, what you can do is you can, after you wrap it, then put a jump ring, a jump ring through one of the little loops that you glued, and then attach this before you shut the jump ring. And then on the other side the ring, because these are toggle. This piece goes inside the loop. And this is a decorative toggle clasp. See, it's got little designs in it. And then this would go in here, like so, okay? And that's one way you can certainly do it. And then you just put that on and it's there. I put 12 of these cords in there. Of course, you see how it fits, but if you want it thicker, you can put more. Just keep in mind what the ends are going to be even thicker. But like I said, you can make them really skinny. You can even run wire all the way up, and then you could put the cord over it, or just the cord all the way up. It depends on where you want it. I didn't want that to show, okay? And if you wanted it even like, my hair's in the way, but if you wanted it shorter, more like a choker, you can certainly do that. But I thought it looked nicer the length I made it. I didn't want it to be too short, but I didn't want it to be too long. But you can make it any length you want. And I like this color. It's very summery, very beachy. Now you can get ideas, like I said, by putting wax linen necklace ideas or chokers in Pinterest and Google in images, and they have like beads usually to one side, or you could put, like, for the summer, seashells and things like that. Now if you can't, because this is too thick, you could attach those things like charms and beads with wire and jump rings. And if you didn't want to do that, then you could wait till you can find the linen, the wax linen cord, because that's definitely thinner, where you can slide beads and other things on it. Where this is thick, so keep that in mind. It's pretty thick. And all I did was, like I said, I cut it 30 inches in length, and then I went to see how I wanted it before I did the ends. Now I left all the ends like that, but I also wanted it twisted. So before I wrapped the wire, I gave it a slight twist. One hand going one way, one hand going the other, and then I held it tight, and then I wrapped the wire around one side. And you could use a clamp on the one while you're doing the other. And then go ahead, and I would use a clamp. I used a bad clip. It's the only kind of clamp I had. And while my glue gun was heating up, but like I said, you can use fabric glue too that dries clear, I wrapped my extra cord around. So like I said, you could either do that or wrap your cord all the way up, and there's many different ways to do it with the ends. The button way with the loop, do it this way with just jump rings through that and leave the little bushy ends, or which I'm eventually going to do, and which is neater and more professional looking if you're going to sell them or give as gifts, is doing the end caps with the glue. So as you can see, it definitely looks neater that way, but to each his own. And I was only making this for myself, so I didn't get all fancy. And I did look for the end caps, but I couldn't find any, at least not any big enough. They were too small. They were not, this was not going to fit in it, even though I was going to trim it down some. So that was just this necklace. And like I said, you could put any kind of thing you want. You can get an old belt buckle and hook it there. You can purchase rings. Hobby Lobby, they have different size rings, like really big, whatever. You can even get an old earring that you have that might be big. Say you lost one and you're still just hanging on to the other one, go ahead and use that. And that's all it is. And I really like it. It's nice for the summer, and I'm very happy with it. The 5-piece necklace with optional braided choker. I'm going to show you that one in my next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.